Assalamu alaikum everyone, I'm back with another video today. In today's video, what I'm going to do is I will be showing you how to use Epsom salt on your Naga plants, on your hot pepper plants, chili plants. Now you can use Epsom salt on your tomato plants as well. Now the way I'm going to do it is to spray them. There's two uses of Epsom salt. You can either put them into the compost, so it makes your plants healthier, or you can also spray them on the foliage. As you can see, these leaves, especially on yellow leaves and other leaves that need a bit of attention, they ain't looking too healthy, you can spray on the leaves. Now you got to make sure you don't put too much Epsom salt, because you don't want to use a lot of it, just about the correct amount. So even a little less than what is actually recommended isn't bad. So as you can see, these are all of my hot plants I've got. Most of these are Naga plants, very hot Naga plants, Carolina Reaper. Also, I think got Trinidad Scorpion. Now, what you got to do first, I've got about 1 litre of water in here, 1 litre of water, and 1 tablespoon of Epsom salt. Just a little less than 1 tablespoon I'm putting in there, as you can see. So put that in there, close the lid, sprayer, nicely. Now these sprayers I've got, you can probably pick these up in the pound shop, from the pound shop or Wilco. It's always good to have a garden sprayer, especially in the hot weather when you can spray the leaves and everything. Plants are just like human beings, they don't like being too hot. So give it a good shake it about nicely. Make sure it all mixes in. Now give it a good spraying. Make sure you spray all the leaves, especially the leaves that are yellow and the ones that look slightly unwell. So thoroughly give them a good spray. Don't miss any bits. Now, the best time to do this normally will be in the afternoon. A bit late afternoon once the sun's gone down, because you don't want to do this when it's really hot. So do it late afternoon once the sun's gone down. So all the leaves, even the little leaves, give them all a good spraying as much as possible all round. And hopefully this will give you shinier leaves and more healthier plants. So that's all the spraying done. Now look at this, as you can see, already looks like as if it's had an effect on them. Now mashallah, these are quite healthy plants anyway, so you'll do a better job on plants that aren't too healthy. Now once I've done that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to top up this compost on the pepper plants with a bit more compost. So what happens is every time you water the compost, it slightly goes down. So add more compost to it, new compost, as the new compost will have more fertilizer on them as well. So just top them up every now and then. It's good for the plants. This is what I'm going to do to all of them, all the ones that need topping up. Don't fill up too much to the top, because when you do water them, you don't want the water to slide down. So now this one here, this is a Deshi Naga plant. This is slightly younger than the other ones. As you can see, slightly smaller, that's why. And I've got a few more inside which are a lot smaller as well. So inshallah I'll do the same process to all of them. And one thing about Deshi Nagas, and especially Deshi Nagas, is the bigger the pot, the more Nagas you get on them. So remember that. I mean, these I'm probably going to keep them in this pot, but I might repot 1 or 2 of them into a bigger pot. Because the bigger the pot, in most cases, the more fruit you get, the more Nagas, chili peppers you will get on them. So I'm going to finish them all bit by bit, do the whole lot of them. Okay, the next step now, what I'll be doing is feeding them a bit of tomato feed. Now I find with most pepper plants, tomato feed is quite good, especially when they've got flowers on them. The best time to give them a bit of feed is when they've got flowers on them, when they're still growing. And read what's on the back of the instructions. Make sure you read what's on the back and use that amount, whatever it says on the back. Now this spray I've got here is 1 litre, so I've calculated how much it needs and I'll put that in there. And don't overfeed them. I mean, you don't want to overfeed them either. as tomato feed is not that strong, so I think it's one of probably the safest thing you can use on tomatoes if you don't really want to damage the plant or anything, and you do get good results. As the plants get bigger, you can use other types of fertilizer, especially for chili plants. But at this age, this time when they're just slowly flowering, I find tomato feed is actually the best thing to use. I use on most of my chili plants, and I have had good results from them. So as always, give it a good shake so it mixes in well. Don't exceed the amount that it says on the back, whatever you do. I mean, little is better than a lot. So just remember, with little you can add more fertilizer to it, but if you add too much, you can't take it out, the compost. So I'll spray the whole lot of them. Now, one thing to remember about pepper plants, Naga plants, and all your chili plants is they don't like the compost to be too wet. They rather prefer it more drier than wet. You don't want it soggy wet. So don't overwater them wherever you do. Don't over fertilize them as well. And so keep an eye on the weather as well. I mean, if the weather's hot, it does dry up a bit. And one of the best ways I think to tell if you have got enough water or thing in your pots is just lift it up. You can tell if you lift it up, you can actually measure in the weight and see if it's got too much or too little. That does help. You can notice it, the difference. You don't want it to be too heavy and you don't want it to be too light. So this is more or less all these pepper plants done now. What I've done, I've used the Epsom salt, I've put some more compost on them, and I've also given a bit of fertilizer. So that's my pepper plants all done. Some of the hottest chilies in the world. Hopefully we get a good harvest this year. Now thank you all for watching. Please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe, and assalamu alaikum everyone.